Mark D, and it's day 17 of the 75-day challenge. And I'm out for my night walk a little earlier than yesterday. And today I'm talking about dedication and commitment, and looking still at commitment one of the 15 commitments of a conscious leader. And commitment one is taking radical responsibility. And taking radical responsibility is not about blaming yourself or demanding someone else takes the blame to be responsible. It's about completely owning the situation. And it's completely about thinking about how you might be involved in the situation. And when we don't take responsibility in our lives, when it comes to leadership, especially self-leadership, what ends up happening is we involve ourselves in triangles. And in the leadership story, the triangle is villain, victim, hero. And so when you take responsibility and you're taking radical responsibility, you're essentially asking yourself, what role am I playing in this drama cycle, in the triad and the pyramid of the drama that's happening? Stepping outside of that and being aware, that's actually an act of consciousness. That's the ability to be able to see out of that, see outside of that. And being in those roles are part of our ingrained nature, and being in those roles are part of our way of being and what we've been programmed by life and stories. Just gonna change that. Look at that. I got a little light so I'm less blurry at night. How do you like that? When we're part of those drama cycles and we take ownership of that story, we're able to step outside of the cycle and be able to own how so that can be applied to your work, your personal self-leadership, and your partnership, your relationships, your children, your friends. And as I'm reading that chapter, I'm realizing that, holy shit, I've been doing triangles my whole life. And it's very interesting because this triangle concept's coming up a lot in my life lately. My partner's a counselor, and she's been taking some specialized courses around family systems. And it's been very, very useful. I've been really finding it it's a super great way to reflect on how your relationships are playing out, how you can better contribute to your relationships. And it also is a great way to kind of reflect on how you affect other people's behavior. And ultimately, you can only change your own. So after that reflection, that opens up the door for you to take responsibility, which is getting me back to commitment one here. And being able to take that responsibility is the act of consciousness. So still sticking to my 75 challenge, still going to get my intermittent fasting in, which is one of the tasks of each day is to follow a specific diet. So my strict diet is the intermittent fasting. I've got to get at least 16 hours in. Monday to Friday, I'm getting between 19 and 21 hours in. And the less strict piece is a slow carb theme. But tonight I had 3 pieces of pizza. And I got no one else to blame but me. Because essentially, there's 4 different ways of looking at yourself from a reflective leadership model. And the first 2 ways are to me or by me. And none of the stages are necessarily, states. None of the states are necessarily progressive. And I made sure to use the word state there because they aren't stages. It's not like you're in stage 1, you're in stage 2. You're always in one of the states, and all leaders move in and out of each of the states on a regular basis. But if you're in the to me state, you're below the line. So if you've heard of any of my other talks, you've heard me talk about being below the line. And that's what I love about this book. It's taking concepts I've always utilized and always applied and always practiced and always tried to make myself better with, but also in my coaching, it's also something that has given me a tangible way to kind of talk about it, and actually present it. And being below the line means that you're not acting from a place of consciousness, and being above the line means you've stepped into consciousness. And the most basic way to step above the line is to actually be able to move from a to me state to a by me state. So I'll give you an example of some to me words. Good evening, how you doing?
Hello.
And some to me state, an example of some to me statements are like this. My partner knows I'm doing the 75-day challenge. When she bought the groceries, she bought all those junk food. Why does she do that to me? She knows I'm on this diet. Why does she keep buying the junk food? My partner didn't actually do that, but I just want to use the example. Now, stepping out of that state into the other state of by me, you might say something to the effect of, man, I can really take different actions once I get that bag of chips in my hand. I can just put them up on the top shelf. I don't need to open them and have four. Because when I do that, I know I'm not making the right choices for me. And that's a by me statement. So it was done by me. Now, the other two states are through me and as me. And I'll talk more about those later because I don't want to get too far into the model without breaking down independently. But taking the first step to go above the line is actually moving from the to me state to the by me state. Being able to step back away from the triad or the pyramid of the victim, villain, or hero model, which is usually a cycle of drama playing out. That allows you to actually step back and reflect if you can actually acknowledge it's happening. The second commitment is about curiosity, and the third one's about feeling all your feelings. So I'll get more into those later, but all of this has got me thinking because tonight I still managed to get into my full intermittent cycle. I started an hour later than I normally do, which just means that tomorrow I'm going to go an hour longer than I normally would. But I had 3 pieces of pizza. Now I know 3 pieces of pizza probably sounds like a lot to you, but for Mark prior to 75 hard, 3 pieces was probably an average. I'd probably go back for 2 more slices a little later and have 5 in total. But 3 slices tonight made me feel like I ate an entire pizza. I don't feel good. I know it was just a little bit of a weak spot. I'm glad I didn't break the cycle completely. I'm still going to be able to get all the way through the day. And technically, I mean, I can get through 16 or 17 hours pretty easily anytime before 10 o'clock at night, but I'm never going to eat past 7. So I'm reflecting, thinking about how it affects me, why I did it, what I'm going to do next time, and stepping outside of the, I'm not really sure what part of the drama cycle I was in, but I feel like I was playing victim because I was feeling bad I couldn't have pizza like everybody else at the house. And that's the piece of consciousness that I want to step into for my own personal self-leadership. Now, when you're applying leadership to a group or a team, a conscious leader and a conscious team will ask themselves, what can we learn from this? What action can we take that will allow us to move forward instead of who's going to take responsibility and who can we blame for this? So just a little bit of words for thought tonight. That's my day 17 talk. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've been able to hear me. My headphones just told me that you're turning off, and hopefully it's coming in through the microphone on the phone. Otherwise, it's just quietness, and I'll have to do another one tonight. As you know, I wish you strength, truth, integrity, growth, and stability, and I love you. I hope you're doing well, and I'll talk to you next time. See you soon.